Welcome to the Pup and Pulse Variety Hour. I am one of your hosts, the man after midnight, Dead Pulse. Joining me, Gregory Puff. How is it going today, sir?
Oh, pretty awesome. I'm super excited to be here. I didn't get to make it last week because Thanksgiving things happen. 7:30. He's a Central Time person. Okay, he's like he's in a place that is west of where I am. I get it. I get it. It made no sense to you to most of us out here, but I totally got what he was getting at.
Yeah,
And I'm not trying to
Minnesota.
dock the body, Saracen. So calm it down. All right.
All right, well we got a full docket today. We're doing a twofer, Gregory Puff.
Mm,
I'm excited. First on the list, we have the one, the only, your Legion mine, Mr. Lord Fizzlebeef, doing some interesting flags. So let's. I'm gonna load those up. I'm not gonna show those on screen. I'm just gonna kind of go over some of the basics
yeah.
on here. Boss stats: 100 to 300%. So
Yep.
that's pretty big.
It's
Experience was 3.0, 10% per key item. We have two loose. That's another thing. The incentive locations are Ice Cave, Ordeals, Marsh, Titans, all vanilla. So for the items, we have all the mainstay stuff, plus the Mass Immune, plus the Power Gauntlet, plus the Ribbon. Um, let's see. Ryukin Desert is on. Northern Docks is on for maps. We got Early Everything, Confused Old Men. And one other thing I was going to point out on here was just a free bridge and a free canal. Anything I missed that you've seen?
No, I pretty much looked them over earlier. The only thing I would point out, based on what I like to look for when I see those kind of boss stats and that kind of experience, is to see what kind of spike tiles we have going on. Looks like we have just shuffled spike tiles with alternate formations. So, I mean, granted, they're better experience tiles, but they're harder to solo if you decide to go the black belt route. So, just a thought there. Outside of that, I mean, you got your two bonus malice. We're excluding spell casting bonuses and beggar's choice, so that'll give us like what, like a heal, a cure, and like 1/10 or something ridiculous.
Yeah, some real stuff. So if you can check out this excellent crop job, if I do say so myself. But but anywho, we're going to be playing this at double speed. So I'm just going to go for it right now, and we'll take a look at these malices. First, the fighter. Uh, Spoiler alert: Lord Fizzlebeef is going to pick a fighter.
That's yeah, that's
Let's
a
put
that's
this
a
on
good idea.
play. So we're kind of going over all of these. Um,
Uh, mm-hmm. Uh-huh. There's that thief sword. He's like, thief swords. That's gonna be good. All I
yeah.
gotta do is just hunt down the Masamune and I'm okay. Oh yeah. That's
So yeah, we're going with fighter, red mage, double black.
okay.
Pretty standard speed and power. The one thing I don't like about this is the white mage is kind of a win condition. I'll explain that after this. All right, so we got fast cake, life two, slot one.
Yeah. The
Uh,
fast is really good. The life 2, obviously. I mean, thank God it ran, it ended up on that red mage.
yeah, that's one of the things as we're walking up to Garland. That's one of the things that these are kind of black belt flags with ignoring the fact that there's two loose and a Masamune and a ribbon.
Right. So
Um,
obvious thing that makes the most sense here, especially with 2 loose out there, going ahead and full clear every place you ever go to. Ooh,
oh,
flame -5. It's fine.
yeah, I probably wouldn't have equipped the iron shield before checking those chests. Just a couple of seconds. Also, one thing that's controversial that I'm going to say, I wouldn't have bought fast for that red mage. And why I'm telling you that is slot four had invis, so I would save that slot for invis because I already have two black mages that are casting fast. I guarantee you, I haven't watched this run all the way through, but I guarantee you that red mage is never going to cast fast.
Yeah.
Also, I wouldn't have rezzed the red mage in Canaria. I would have rezzed it right here.
Yeah, I'm not
Just save a
sure
couple of
why you're
steps.
sorry. I don't mean to like cut you off. I'm not sure why we're checking magic anyway before killing these pirates when you have 189 gold. So just a thing to throw out there, especially when you have a win condition in the cake and you just got like a ton of money from those pirates. Now checking the magic, you're like, okay, well, I at least have money to pick up the magic as opposed to, not being able to get magic. And if there was like good magic, well, again, you have nothing.
That's true. So we have the ship, we have the canal, and now we have the floater. So we can go get the floater right now. Should we choose?
Yeah.
Um,
And now we're gonna have to do this whole double dip of this side, but at least we can get all these quad X. We've got lock now. We got warp, pretty good. Gonna need the lock, specifically because of the 1 to 300 clamped bosses, because more than likely something's gonna roll max evade.
yeah.
All right, so I imagine Fizzle with the canal, the ship, and the floater's gonna immediately get in the air. And what do you do at this point? Because like, kind of the world's your oyster, right? You got anywhere you can go. Okay. He's not gonna get the airship.
Ooh, that silver axe is pretty nice.
Yeah.
Let me try to turn down these
Zap.
settings. Maybe that's screwing it up.
Zap for the
So
cheeky
43.
lich kill. Okay.
Yeah, I mean with these kind of settings, 100 to 300, I'm absolutely going to try to insta kill the most bosses that I can. And I kind of do like the play of getting the gloves and the cap because they are +4.
Yeah. I mean that's 10 absorb. That's pretty huge. Especially since we hadn't really seen anything else that's great. And the gold bracelets rolled really high as far as money's concerned. So we're
Yeah.
done here. Luckily, Fizzle was able to do all his shopping in where are you going, Fizzle?
We're walking over. So I assume Fizzle understands that. Yeah, we you could have just gone for the floater and gone through all this. So we won't dwell on it.
Yeah, okay.
Who plays with Ryukin Desert Dock anyways? Says week one of the Duckling boot camp.
Right. So doing the usual, if you're full clearing, you got to go to a place like Marsh. A lot of people like to do this top check first. Uh, it's a little bit quicker, and if you find what you want, then you get out of here. My only thought to that is that the vanilla item is in bottom Marsh. So
You
I
got to
guess you
check
got
the
to
whole
clear
thing.
from
Why
both anyway.
not?
Yeah,
And you have warp at an early level, so it's not terrible.
yeah, it's not too bad. It ended up working out pretty good.
We are. Oh,
Ooh,
delicious.
Agamus. Yeah, and Ice 3 was at that level. Ooh, that's able to kill those pretty quick.
That's fine. Like they rolled pretty low, but we only had one cast each, and now we're level 10, so we're feeling fine. So what I wanted to talk about before was specifically why I would bring a white mage instead of the red mage. So the white mage is a win condition all by her lonesome because she's going to have ruse. She's going to have life too. As long as you get the Masmoon and the power bonk and the ribbon, uh, she's unstoppable. Throw in Cure 3, Cure 4, and that's how you can win. However,
Yeah,
now that Life 2 we saw was slot 1, like that's perfect for this party because now you want to get your party like all right, let's take a step back. What do you think your end game is for this party? Like what are your levels going to look like, Gregory Puff?
I mean at 300%. I mean you got to go pretty high. And I disagree with Fizzle's remarks here. We don't need a white mage, but 300% you need a white mage. You you can't go you can't go, man, I hope Kraken 2 has 500 HP. Kraken 2 is not going to have 500 HP. It's going to have anywhere between 900 and 2700. So you need the white mage, in my opinion.
We're going to be opening a lot of boxes, so maybe we can get the defense sword, but that's still a maybe. I mean, I think the average is 143 boxes opened to find both your loose.
You know,
Um,
I mean, as far as levels are concerned, I'm thinking, I don't know, uh,
I'd say
30s.
35. I'd say if we find the mass mutant and it rolled 0 or better, then we're looking at 35 on the
Yeah.
fighter, and we might as well take the rest of the party up to the 30s. I mean, the experience
All
is
right,
high enough.
what do you think about happening to Melman without the slab? And do you like checking Melman
No,
out?
I rarely go to Melmond to check, even to check magic if I don't have the slab or if I'm not already like just flying by it. Like
Yeah.
you can make the argument like the boat was going close enough to it to make that stop, but I'm not gonna be able to cast any level 5 yet. Well, we're close. We're level 11, so unrunnable
Kind of my
giants
thought
of
too.
grossness.
The only thing I can think of is like maybe potentially getting something that is better than Ice 3, but Ice 3 is a pretty good spell. Granted, a lot of things do resist ice. All right, still no vendor. There's Fade. Fade's learnable at what, level 20? Oh, confused old men. What a blast from the past. Hey, look, there's thank God you got the canoe now. The canoe's gonna be hey, oh look at that desert
Ign-
docker.
the desert dock. Ignore me. But good. We go check out Sarda. So one of the things that I like to do in loose seeds is to just check as many incentive locations first as possible. And I know this sounds dumb, but there's still a reasonable chance that one of the loose. Oh my God, mass being +5. Um, well, I guess the fighter's taken care of. There's a reasonable chance that one of those loose is going to be a dud that we don't need.
I like
And
the
there's a
right
ribbon.
kind. I or not right kind. I don't know what I was saying. I like the cardio check here,
I
especially
do
when
too.
you're still looking for two loose. Love it. Plus that ribbon -4, ribbon -5, ribbon -9 is still the best gear in the game.
Yeah. Everything can roll +5 to -5 in this. Oh, we get a second.
Oh,
So we just found both ribbons that aren't incentivized.
unbelievable. And the reason,
So that ribbon's definitely a dud now.
yeah, and the reason why we know that it's not incentivized is obviously it didn't give us the jingle,
Oh.
and that is a flag that we have turned on.
Well, so I want to point this out. What I would have done there is actually dropped into OnRack to check the shop item, and then I also would have gone to Waterfall. Um,
Do we have a bottle?
we do have a bottle.
Okay, good. I was just double checking.
The reason that I would have done that is because it's still it like you're gonna double dip it because you're already flying over it. It's only a 20-second check to get to on rack. You're gonna have to do waterfall anyways. So and there's a chance a loose item could be there.
Yep. I like the nuke at level 8. Not quite vanilla, but French vanilla. Again, if you're going out of your way to check a level 8, you should have brought a white mage. What I'm saying.
That's true. We have the ruby, so we can turn that in. I don't think we've seen temper.
Nope. But
Oh
we
my
do have
goodness.
warp.
Going to ice cave.
I do like this play with the warps. I mean, he'll be able to get in there super quick, check the boxes, and warp out if he wants to. But without both loose items, I mean, are you full clear and ice? I would have to assume you're here.
Yeah. I I would have liked to see. Actually, I don't know. I'm I'm not sure. There's a lot of things that are open in here because we can still go to ordeals. Hint, hint. Or
Yeah.
um, but Ice Cave is an incentive location. It's just icky because you're at a weird level. Because if you find a grind tile here, you can't take it above like level 26 because you want that fighter to have life too, and you need 7 levels past once you get the tail. You don't have the tail, so whatever you find here, it's not going to be your end game grind.
Yeah. Here for levels is interesting considering, I mean, you can go to ordeals and do kind of a similar thing. And there's 3 spike tiles. It's a little bit, I don't know. It's less dangerous than a place like this. All right, we're going to go ahead and warp it up. There's our herb. Nice little, ooh, fire 3.
Hold on one second,
I like
Craig.
fizzle.
I'm gonna turn off the screen that you see really quick. I'll pop it back on shortly.
Okay. Ooh, worms. Let's see how much these guys have. Of yeah, of course they had to roll high. Man, 6 ice 3 still didn't really do anything, but at least they're not hitting too hard.
Oh, worms have so much health. I mean, this is such a delicious amount of experience, but that was a lot of resources that we used, and yeah, that gained us 6 levels. But ugh,
Mm,
it is worms. You got to take it, and you got to warp back. You can't take this fight again. You don't have the resources for it. But I mean
yeah.
that's fine. So let's see, we're
I like
going
the
for it.
use of Quad X there. Fizzle's a great runner, and you could just see how he's using all his resources here to kind of get through these battles, these annoying unrunnable battles. There's nothing
Yeah,
more annoying than like dumb unrunnables, like giants. Like why? I don't want. Like why? I should not have to fight these things, especially
yeah,
if they roll enough HP that just keep you here for 2 rounds and gobble up all your resources. And then again, the other battle where it's like a troll and a zombie D. Nobody wants to deal with that. Nobody got time for that. Exactly. So unfortunately, ice is not like. Oh no, we know these guys have crack or frost or something. This is not good. This is unacceptable.
ice
Let's
is
see if he
just
gets
the
away.
worst. Just absolutely the worst place to be.
I'm gonna have to throw out. Um, and of course the. Okay, yeah, cake's not gonna work on a wraith, but it's fine. Whew.
Yeah,
I know Fizzle.
we've
Guess
got two
what?
ribbons. It's fine. But
Yeah,
at
I
this point,
still
we
don't
still
like.
haven't found any of the we still haven't found the loose items yet. Either of them.
And ooh, opal bracelet, not too bad.
We're finding a lot of gear. Like,
Yeah. So we'll see what this herb turns into. I didn't see anything aside from that opal bracelet that I was like super excited about.
yeah. So we'll definitely need to go. Yeah, volcano. That's a good play.
Yeah,
You have a massive immune +5. You've got fast. You're gonna be able to take down carry.
yeah, you shouldn't have any issues here. And there's 32 chests here, plenty of room to find one of those loose items.
Yeah. What I actually like to do is check the right chest first up here, and then track back, check the left chest, and warp. I save a couple of steps doing it.
Yeah, the thing I like to do actually is to check the bottom 2 chests, then check hairpin, then warp, then come back through and check that right chest and then come back around. Because that hairpin has a lot of steps in it.
I followed everything you said.
Ah, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh,
There's our
look,
loose item.
we got one loose chime. All right, so what I would be thinking about at this point is what are the chances um, that our loose is going to be something that is not required, i.e., the power gauntlet, the ribbon, or the tail at this point. Like I know we have the dragon armor,
Mhm.
but honestly, unless temper rolls level 7, well, it's gonna have to roll level 7 or 8.
Yeah, I think,
Um,
I
we're
think,
not
I think,
we're
I
not
think
gonna need it.
tail is by far required here. Still,
Okay,
and in my opinion, it's required.
so
Uh,
the ribbon, and I would maybe the power bonk. I would still say that the power bonk is optional here.
I
It
know
would
we
be
still don't have
nice.
it.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, we're gonna need something to like mow down these bosses because yeah, I mean you can slow them down with lock. You can make them hittable, but they still could potentially have absorb that you're gonna need to use bonk or like temper or something like that with. And unfortunately, while massive +5, because of I think the blur scene doesn't the Massa +5, isn't it like not much better than just a regular Massa? Or how does that work exactly? Because
So
of the
basically,
overwrap.
the Masa is still going to gain damage. It's just not going to gain hit percentage. It's also still going to gain crit. So the Masamune has a base 56 attack. So that's going to become 66, which is essentially a free temper.
Okay.
And the crit rate is going to go up from 10% to 17.5%, I believe.
Sounds about right.
Or maybe it was 27.5. Someone can correct me on this.
Nope, not flogging you for running out of heals. Because to be perfectly honest, we would have never thought that you would do something like that. So now that you've pointed it out, I was wondering why you just let your characters die and you're still just running through here. I like the zap because you knew
So
you
do
could at
I.
least take out one or two mud golems there. Not going to take those sorcerers out. They have too high of MDef. Still got through it though. Let's see if we got anything. Gonna go on ahead and use the warp trick. I love it. But oh my god, we have, okay, what do we have for heals? We got 12, 10. Okay.
We have more
All
than
right, let's
enough
get,
heals.
or at least to keep Fade and Hit alive. We'll see. Oh, another enemy with Frost. That's nice.
Yeah, and we use
All right.
life 2. Those are the real heals.
All right,
Um,
so again, we got carry coming up, 6 to 1800 health. What do you think? What do you think Carrie's gonna land on this whole health? Oh, Stone Touch is where Carrie's gonna land on her health.
nope, we're going Brack strats. We hit X first, so Carrie has a lot of magic defense, like north of 190, I think. So
Mhm.
that Brack still is only going to have a uh,
Not very good.
do math in head 19% chance or something with expert.
Oh, but it still lands.
We still
Man,
got it.
wow.
It's probably less. I think it
Wow.
was only like 14% chance with that magic defense, but someone smarter can correct me. But we still have the herb to turn in. Make sure we don't forget that, and we have the ruby. But yeah, Lord Fizzlebeef is absolutely right. Have a backup plan because you never know when Carrie is going to have Stone Touch.
Yeah,
Um,
wow. I mean, I have to say, you kind of disrespected Carrie there, leaving your fighter in the front row. I get it. Carrie's like the second boss or whatever, but we're talking 100 to 300. Should probably put a mage up there or something. What do you think? Am I being crazy?
I would have put one of the mages. You have two black mages. You don't need both of them. Uh,
Yeah. All right. So there's that power bunk that we were talking about. So we're getting closer to the idea that we're going to need basically the other
yeah,
loose as well. So
yeah.
again, we still can turn in
Unfortunately,
the
yeah.
herb that we went out of our way to ice to grab. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, I don't think it's anything pressing, unless of course it's the key or
Well, so we're missing the loot, the key, and the oxyale, I believe, as well as the. We have the chime, but do we have the cube?
we don't have the cube. But when I say pressing, I mean, these are things that
Oh,
ooh,
so at this point, we have found the tile that we're going to take to endgame. This is something you put in your back pocket because you're already level 22. Um, every other fight now is inconsequential outside of bosses and war mech. I would literally take 0 fights from here on out that I didn't have to take.
so Fizzle's gonna go on ahead and give us all the information that we need. And apparently he still has not bothered to pick up heals. So we're supposed to make fun of him for going into Earth Cave, no heals. I
Listen,
mean,
I'm never gonna make fun of Lord Fizzlebeef for not picking up heals because that's how I won Winter Dam.
yeah, I mean, and you knew this battle was unrunnable because you already saw it in one of the rooms in the other place. So,
Yeah,
it's like,
those hydras are gross. Like
yeah, anything with trance is gross.
Coral
And
-5, what a pickup.
I
Fighter
know.
can
Hey,
equip it.
you got, yeah. Hey, thief sword. You can use it against Kraken
Oh my
with that 30 damage bonus.
Oh my goodness. Normally it's the gators that I fear, but these hydras, man, and that experience is just. I am afraid right now of getting too much experience before I get the tail. I am absolutely terrified that I'm going to have to take this fighter up to level 42 because I promoted at level, 35. And
So again,
and one thing I will mention, I hate full clearing Earth. You're only missing one item. You are you There aren't many other places that you can go, but there's still ordeals. There's still waterfall. There's still the
waterfall.
shop
There's
item.
still the herb.
There's
There's
still the
still the
herb turn in.
item,
Um, this
which
is
again
this is
is
a gamble, and
which
if it
again is going
pays
to open up
off,
so much of the game.
yeah,
So one of those things is more than likely going to lead to like a cube or an oxio, which is going to open up a place that is, maybe a little bit better than full clear and earth.
that's true. Like I will say, yep, you are here. I would have in a competitive setting. I would have still done Earth. I just would have only checked chests along the way, and I probably would have checked the top 5 armory, or the mini armory, um, as a gamble. Would that be the right call? Who knows? But the point is, I don't want to spend 6 minutes in Earth checking the 20 some chests. I wanna unlock Sky, or maybe go to Ordeals. Hopefully the loose item is there. We're at the point we
So
don't need any more gear. Like anything that we find in here, absent the defense sword, it's just we're put it into the oh, trash compactor. Yeah, Lord
that's what
Fizzlebeef
I'm
will get
saying.
that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, defense is really the only thing you're looking for at this point. Let's see here. So we're going to check these last 3 boxes, and again, we're talking how much time? Probably 4 or 5 minutes
Yeah,
running through
we've
this
we've
place.
spent about 4 or 5 minutes in here, and full clear is full clear. It didn't pay off this time. If it did, that would have been huge, but it didn't. And 5 minutes is a long time.
Right. So looks like we're gonna go for full on damage here, which I like that. Ooh, defenseless again. Doesn't matter because Quake was gonna land anyway.
Yeah,
But I really do. I have to point it out. You don't see it a lot. The expert strats, like I really do like it with high clamps because you just never know. Like
yeah.
you need to have again that plan B. Like if you run out of quakes and that's not landing, you can at least revert onto those brack strats.
Lord Fizzlebeef buying a full 99 heal potions. So we got the cube. I definitely like going to ordeals here. The problem is that shop item, we know that the shop item is in on rack,
Is
and
it could it be in the Oasis? Did you check that?
nope, we checked the Oasis, so we definitely know it's an on rack, and we know that that can't be the ribbon. It could lead to the ribbon, but it can't just outright be the ribbon. Best case is the Oxyale, and you can just keep doing your thing.
Yep.
Um, but definitely the ordeals check is nice. I would have done it roughly 30 minutes ago, but that's me. Oh, unrunnable earths, gross. I don't
Yeah.
like
Unrunnable.
I don't like the black shirt being cast here. Um, it just takes up more time than a swing, and it's not going to kill anything.
Yeah. I will have to say this has got to give Fizzle some PTSD with the unrunnable earths during dab. I'm sure this is like making him very happy. Just unrunnable dumb earths doing dumb things like slow and dark.
Oh my god, they
What
have
is
so
even
much.
happening?
They have so much health.
Just so much dumb.
Bet you wish
And
you
and
had equipped that coral sword -5 now.
one thing I will say is I am baffled by how many enemies have rolled up so far. I mean, this is 50 to 200. This isn't like clamp trash. Can we get enemies that don't roll up?
So you know what enemies didn't roll up? The Nagas with those waters.
Yeah, there's our slab.
Oh, ick.
Ugh, more unrunnables. Like, did we add more
Cremate.
runnables to this game?
We might have that just for Lord Fizzlebeef. And again, we're at level 25. This is just it's making me anxious that we don't have the tail. We're not promoted.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's fine. Everything is fine. I wouldn't take the sandworm specifically because it's going to get me a level. I don't like it. So now, yeah, I think I please check waterfall and shop item.
Yeah. Interesting, since you're gonna already have to go to OnRack anyway, because you know the shop items there. So it's like, I mean, you know that there are things there, but there could be potentially things in the shop that you're gonna have to go to check for the shop item.
Yeah,
So that's just, it kills you like what, 15 seconds, 20 seconds. Again, we're talking about competitive racing here, right?
yeah, and
And then totally just didn't even bother with the free tiles.
oh, there's our
Hey,
tail shop item. So instantly, it is time to promote. I do
yeah,
not care if it takes an extra 10 seconds. We're promoting. Um, so what does that leave us? We are still looking for the loot,
Oxyel
the
and the
oxyale,
loot.
the key,
So
and the
basically, we
ribbon.
that last loose item, I think, right?
So if it's the ribbon, we don't need it. But so the only other incentive location that we can check, so we have the slab turn in to do, we have waterfall to do, we have the loose item, and then we have something behind key.
Okay.
So um
And that's the thing. The key is the scary part, because the key can obviously be loose, and that could lead to the ribbon.
yeah, that's well, the loot being loose or the key being loose, that is scary.
But those are the those are the things that make the two loose. That's the things that upset the two the people that hate the two loose. Sorry,
Yeah. Now,
Fizzle not using the free tiles out of the canoe. That's killing me softly.
something that I would do since I'm already here, I would definitely have gone here. But what I want to see is Lord Fizzlebeep going back to Earth Cave when he turns in the slab and literally grinding out the rest of the levels. It's going to make the rest of the seed much easier.
The
And
river
we,
tiles is where you want your levels. Okay, okay.
well, I mean, Ochos are pretty nice, and frost dragons. Oh, there's Temper, level 7,
Eh,
Black Wizard locked. You don't have the Oxyale. Instantly warp out. I like that. But we take we take the free tiles here. Oh, and Anglios have glare. God, everything in this seed is just suck.
But I kind of agree with you here. It's like, all right, let's go do the slab thing. Let's hit up Earth. We know that there's Naga waters. I'm pretty sure that Lord Fizzlebeef said that Naga waters are his number 2 tile. Is it number 2 or is it number 3? Go on ahead, Lord Fizzlebeef. Let us know.
I thought worms were number 1.
Worms are number 1 as far as EXP, and I think that Gasties are also kind of tied in that area.
Yeah.
And then, yep, there we go, number 2.
So this you're it's hard. You're full clearing sky, hoping to find the incentive item, and that's the best location that it's probably going to be at. The problem is we had access to this 30 minutes ago, and with Brack, this would have been a great play to do at the 30-minute mark. But
Mhm.
at the 1 hour mark, uh, it makes me feel like I'm behind because someone could have been in here 30 minutes before doing exactly this. And because I'm still only level 26, I don't have the benefit of things running away from me or like there's a safety issue, right?
Yeah, and we're running away from a lot of the things here, which I mean, I get. Like we have levels and stuff, but it's like it's kind of another one of those reasons why you go to Sky kind of early, is to try to get those levels. Especially like what you said, we got level 4 Brack, and we got 3 people that can cast it.
And a pocket full of dreams. Um, but so right now, everything that's going through my head is we still have 2 turn-ins. We have the TNT and the slab turn-in to do. Hopefully, if one of those turns into the key, that's going to give us all 3 items that are not the loose. And so there's a 25% chance right now that that loose is the ribbon, which we don't need. So 3 times out of 4, you gotta keep clearing places. But chances are you are gonna find the key. Those are a lot of free checks. It's not gonna take I mean, Lord Fizzlebeef is going to have this cleared in under 5 minutes, so it's not terrible. Um, but I would turn in those incentives because if it turns out to be the ribbon that is loose, it's going to feel real bad. But I, as we just keep pounding on Lord Fizzlebeef, like I want to point out, like watch the movements. I know we're watching it at 2 times speed, but the movements are very fluid. There's not a lot of wasted motions in here. When battles stop and start, we're moving immediately. When we're leaving floors, we're moving immediately. So the execution is absolutely here. I can't say anything bad about it.
No, he doesn't even think twice about certain battles. He knows whether he can kill it or not. He knows that, well, it's time to get out of here. Even though there's some juicy XP battles, it's like, well, I'm not going to waste my resources on this battle. He knows immediately the second he sees it to go ahead and get out of there.
Yeah. Um, But yeah, so we entered here about the 1 hour mark. We're at the 1 hour five. So yeah, 5, 6 minutes clearing through here. The 50 some chests, like a quarter of the chests in the game, didn't find the other loose. So that means the loose is either in a key lock somewhere or it's in C.
Yeah, not a. I'm sorry. Like I know a lot of people like to take down Warmack. I don't want. I don't love taking down Warmack when you're with a 100 to 300 clamped and we're 5 minutes into a full clear of sky. But we'll see how it works out. I
Yeah,
mean, Warmack obviously breaking out a rub, so that's not too scary. Oh, nuke's dead.
well, that's not great. Um, I'm 50-50. Oh.
There's
Well,
oh, but
that's what
hitting Nooker.
that's what you wanted. But we don't have
Do
life
we have
two.
life too?
We don't have
Oh
it bought yet.
no!
So this is going, and it's fine. Everything's fine. You have fast, you have Brack. You're probably fine. Oh God, 4 hits for 44. That's not great.
Yeah, you're
There we
probably
go.
fine, except that you're not fine. This T is like full on hitting.
We're
Uh
fine. Everything's fine. Yeah,
oh.
we're
Oh,
fine. Speed and
nice.
power.
Love it. Every time I'm like, oh, this isn't gonna work out. Fizzle finds a way to make it work out, dude. Yeah, that just goes to show that I've been over prepare when it comes to these kind of things.
Yeah. Well, we're level 31 now on that fighter. I would like to get 4 more levels just to get up to level 35. That'll give us our 6th hit. Um,
Yeah.
and then at that point, like, because now we have 4 casts. Unfortunately, like we don't have the defense sword. We don't have. Uh, we have a white shirt, I think.
I thought we picked up. Did we not pick up defense in Sky, or did I just miss that?
Did we pick up defense? I didn't see it.
Hmm. I thought we picked it up in Mirage, but it's been kind of going by as a blur. So here
You're a
we
blur.
go. What are we down to? We got we got Oxio turning the slab. We're gonna hope for a key that leads to a loot, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what we're
Yep.
for in the world? So we don't have to full clear C as
Yep.
well.
Because either this is going to be the ribbon, in which case the key is loose, or this is going to be the loot, in which case the key is loose, or this is going to be the key, and then we're at a 50-50.
Yeah. And then, because the game is the way that it is, it's gonna be the ribbon, and then of course the
Yeah.
key.
I gotta go back to this item magic. I do not like casting item magic at this level because specifically like you're casting lit 2, it's not going to kill anything. You're better off honestly waiting or doing a swing. It's just little things. All right, so we get the key out of here. Um, this is where the feels bad comes in because at this point you have a 50-50 shot of that being the loot, and if that is the loot, you have spent 5 minutes in Earth Cave, 6 minutes in Sky, clearing that out, and essentially getting bupkis.
Hmm. All right, let's see what we got going on here. One thing I will say, and I know we're kind of messing with Fizzle, like obviously. Oh, yeah, that's the loot right there.
Yep.
Um,
So
Obviously he asked for this. He's a vet, so we're gonna be a little bit harder on him
yeah,
because obviously he knows what he's doing here. So we're gonna kind of pick apart the small mistakes that he makes. But at the end of the day, like looking over this run, I mean, he's done great work getting through these dungeons, not taking any crazy wipes.
yeah,
And again, the fluid motion. like just knowing what battles to take, deciding immediately whether to, go on ahead and attack or run. I mean, that's huge. That saves you minutes over minutes over a run to be able to decide immediately the second you see something what you're doing, as opposed to what am I doing? Am I casting something? Am I going to sit here and stare at my menus for a little bit?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. This is for a two loose and full clearing literally three of the fiend dungeons, being in go mode at 1 hour and 14 minutes. That's incredibly fast for this flag set.
Yeah, I mean, and the levels are good. I'm really scared of Topher still. I would have, again, I think we talked about levels earlier. I would have preferred to be, we're at 31. I guess a few more levels would have been fine. We'll see how the fighter goes. I mean, he's got a lot of HP, but
But I mean, I'm scared of Kraken 2 at this point. That's the only
yeah,
thing now that's on my mind, because if Kraken 2 rolls up, um, you don't have the defense sword, you don't have invis on your red mage. I don't think you picked it up on the fighter. So if you're going to be you can't try to stack that white shirt on this, because that's just a wasted turn. You got to go full speed and power through this, which means fast lock temper, I believe, on your first round, and then uh, probably lock temper again. I mean,
now
with this scaling, lock is going to be better to cast first than temper.
if you're going full speed and power, right? So Fizzle got the Diddy, got out of there, but he didn't check the other 5 chests in there. Would you have checked them in hopes for defense? Maybe cleared a couple of key locks, just potentially trying to find that, because I feel like defensive almost win condition here with 100 to 300.
I
You know,
no, I wouldn't, and I'm going to tell you why. Because after figuring out semi late that the ribbon is what what was incentive, or what was the other loose, and looking for it, um, I need to go.
yeah,
If I'm taking on someone like CC in this, she's been in Topher for 10 minutes.
yeah,
I gotta go.
yeah,
Let's have some more unrunnable Urds.
yeah. It's the best.
What a crazy
Going
happenstance.
with Zap here. The reason why, obviously he doesn't want to use the lit threes because he wants to hold on to those bracks for, you know, worst case scenario situations. And Zap Ice 3 ain't doing no damage against those Earths.
Well, good news. I mean, this is Providence, because the fighter is now level 35. The magic, hey, look at me, I've got 6 hits on this Matha.
Yeah. Yeah, I am just bored
More
about how much
Urds for
HP
your
everything
enjoyment.
has. Yeah.
Oh my. All right, let's see what Lich has. We're doing a couple of cakes. Oh, here you go.
Yeah. Dang got a little, little something in his ear, little, little tickle there. He was like, "Hey, did 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 a Lich 2 fall into a crack? I hear that right?" All right, so keeping the fighter up in the front row, takes a hit, not too bad. Big old hit out of that fighter. There we go.
Yeah.
All right, so we knocked down the first two kind of, I don't know, even carry two is going to be kind of scary at these clamps, but here's the real big boss right here.
Yeah.
And I think any of these guys, any one of these bosses that decides that they don't want any magic and they just want to attack instead, I mean, you're hoping to take them down in less than, 3 or 4 rounds.
That was a pretty big hit. All right, come
That,
on.
that
Cast lit 2 Kraken. Oh, one hit for
one
172. That's not great.
no, especially when Kraken is total.
Oh,
Ooh,
Jesus. That was
yeah.
through like 60 some absorb. Like, that's ridiculous. One thing I will mention, I wrote this in a note because I checked out the armor shops. Steel plus 5 armor was available in Provoca for about 6K. I probably would have picked that up at that time.
Well, we have the dragon armor, I think, right? Who
But we
would you
have a
put
ribbon,
steel armor on?
so I would use the steel armor.
Okay,
Steel armor plus 5 is so much absorb. It's a ridiculous amount.
okay. Now, what are we thinking here? Would you go knowing that Kraken 2 has what Kraken 2 has? Are you going back in and just hoping for better RNG? Or are you going to try to get some levels at this point?
Well, no,
I
I
mean,
think I'm going in for better RNG. I don't think Kraken is going to punch me 4 times again. And even so, I have a white
really,
shirt and I now have invis casts on my
hmm
fighter. I don't need that many invis casts, maybe 3. And I will be able to survive a hit from Kraken. And that's all we need to do because at that point, I'm fasted. I probably have a temper on me. With a mass immune +5, it should be 2 rounds of swinging.
yeah, in the
Um,
bunk. So hopefully, we can get the white shirt, a couple of invises out before Kraken starts just murdering people again.
yeah,
And then at that point, like what you said, if we can get max evade up on the fighter, we've got power bonk. We're okay on that front. We just need a fast to go off. There's just a lot going on. I mean, trying to slow Kraken down, trying to get that evade down, trying to make sure Kraken doesn't one shot your entire party again.
yeah.
But Fizzle has the right idea, trying to correct the issues. I like going and getting Invis 1. It's one of those spells, a lot of people don't think to pick up, but if something like that happens and you need to up your evasion and there's no real other way to do it, I mean, it works.
Yeah. Um, the problem is of how evasive Kraken is. If Kraken wasn't evasive, I could definitely see just going in and trying to speed and power this. But that's the reason why Invis is going to be important in this because we're going to need 4 locks minimum to get up to a reasonable amount of damage.
Yeah. And then 11 hits too on Kraken. That's just every one of those hits is a chance to
Yeah.
crit. And even, I don't know, it's just, it gets kind of scary here. So,
Oh,
already on 5 hits. So that's pretty good.
yeah, yeah. So we're gonna have 4 stacks, and that poor black bean. Oh
Or
no.
red mage. But already doing some pretty good damage with the locks and the fast and the tempers. But that'll do it.
Yep.
And we've got enough life twos to where this is not an issue.
That
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 is
is,
perfect.
yeah. I have to say that is really good adjustment. All you had to do, head up Canary, grab a couple of invis, and life is good. So that's a really heads up play there.
Yeah. And only casting it twice so that we have life 2 for after Kraken and after Tiamat is an amazing foresight.
Yeah, for sure. Throw in the life two on the red mage because you have life two on the red mage that you have pretty much 9 charges of. So great play there. And we're already doing some pretty decent damage on Tia. So this shouldn't take too much longer. What do you think of chip damage here as opposed to just getting away?
I don't like it. I like the Brax, but I mean that last hit 1831. That's what I am expecting out of this. So when you have something that crits 25% of the time ish, like chip damage,
Oh, why does this have to happen every single time? The red vampires and their stupid dragons always
gross.
showing up unrunnable.
Oh my. All right. So now we're on to chaos. Um,
2,000
let's
to 6,000.
let's see what we do. So we fast, we
Look,
temper, we lock. Oh, we white shirt and we invis. All right. Oh no, we're locking power bonk. Invis. Who needs that? Speed and power.
yeah.
So honestly, as long as those locks go off, that fighter is going to be hitting for a ridiculous amount of damage now.
Ooh,
19,
that's a 3 hits
1938.
though.
Oh my. And we're
Wow.
done. Oh my.
Fizzle's so funny because he's talking about how he did all these dumb things. I mean, the only thing that we could like kind of make fun of him for was not getting in the air at the 2 minute mark.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, that was so well played. Like I would have probably thrown my controller across the room and just given up the game at that point. That was so well played.
So on the steps. We had about 10,400 steps and 140 chests open. That's pretty synonymous with full clearing 3 dungeons on there. Um, so there wasn't a lot of wasted steps besides those river tiles, which annoyed Gregory Puff and me. But but yeah, that was definitely a GG. I love the adjustment that was done for Kraken 2, and recognizing what we needed to do to fix it. And then for Chaos, like I should invis, like no, I'm good.
Yeah.
Speed and power. That's what we mean by speed and power. Um, but yeah, besides that, there was just I would have liked to see you check more incentive locations before full clearing Earth, and just making sure, because yeah, it was only a 25% chance at the end that the ribbon was the loose item, but it did happen. So so that's
Yeah, I
what you
mean,
get.
that would be my thing. Aside from getting in the air like way later than you obviously needed to, and then of course full clearing those dungeons that you didn't really have to, instead of doing the just turning in those incentives like Deadpool said. I mean, you could have saved yourself obviously an Earth and a skydive.
All
So,
right. Well,
but I'm gonna go on ahead and I'm gonna step away for just a second while we load up Rich Borksteed, and then I'll be right back. Deadpool, you do your thing.
I think I will do my thing. Let's take this
You do
off
your
and go
thing.
back to our lovely artwork. So Lord Fizzlebeef, thank you very much for submitting your VOD. I hope that 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 we didn't go too hard at you. It's difficult because both Gregory Puff and myself were very comfortable with Lord Fizzlebeef, so giving him a little crap is second nature to us. Um, but I just want everyone to understand, like, none of this is meant in a mean spirited fashion. We're just giving kind of advice on what we're seeing, what we're doing. Um, and I honestly thank you for putting this video out there. I think it if you just watch the video standalone by itself, it was a very good introduction to a two loose flag set. And a lot of the decisions that you made and the menuing, the routing, it was all top tier. It's exactly what I expect from someone who is my liege. So while Gregory Pope was away, let's figure this out. I have to load up riches. There it is. And I think, yeah, I've got the capture right. Let's just fast forward this a little bit. So these are the Duckling Derby Week 4 flags. Let's pause that. The Duckling Derby Week 4 flags from, where am I? Who am I? From the last Duck Derby we had. It was summer. Oh my goodness. So much mod reviewing. So these flags were kind of based on the spring tournament pod flags, with a couple of different modifications. So we had two forced to simulate a draft, and it turns out that in Duckling Derby Week 4, both forceds were black belts. What kind of madman would do this to the Ducks? Um, but anyways, the other things that are with this flag set, bosses HP is claimed 100 to 150, so not too out of the realm. So yeah, let's take a look at some of these blurses. I think I caught it up in the right. So yeah, we're obviously not taking a fighter because we have two black belts. We kind of have to go with black belts on this. Um, Although black belts do have 15 luck, minus ribbon. Let's see, my playback speed 2 times. Let's do this. So this is from Rich Bork. I believe Rich Bork came in 8th place in the Summer Duckling Derby.
That's correct. That's
Was
correct.
promoted up to a platypus.
Yeah, to a
Um,
non-duck.
I hopped in the booth real quick, and I'll hop out while you guys do your review. So when I was practicing for week 4, I was trying to do 2-man strats with red mage and black belts. So having 2 forced black belts, that was right up my alley. And then I take 2 red mages here. So now this run is from 4 months ago. And since then, I was part of the Fall League, and I've done some other things as well. I know some of the mistakes that I've already made in this. Um, I, at this point, had only been playing FFR for about 3 months, and you guys may or may not remember, I'm very, very analytical. So I was going through and rewatching tape of my runs and other people's runs and breaking them down. Sometimes even, second by second, so I could find where I could get these little edges here and there. So coming into this race, I was 11th in the Duckling Derby. So I needed to have a good finishing in this race and had to have some things fall into place. But part of that was because I had the disastrous week one where I had to dive Topher 17 times. So
Oh,
is what it
heck.
is.
Yeah, that week
Yeah.
that
But
week one was
what I'll do is I'll hop in, I'll hop back in during the chaos fights, and I wanted to talk about what happens in the chaos fight and something else that happened during my week one of the Duck Derby, which was related to my chaos fight here. So something that I've learned since then. So take it away, guys.
all right. So the first thing that we see here, life 2 is slot 2, so that's white mage locked. Gregory Puff, do you re-roll? Yes, no.
Life 2, White Mage locked?
Yeah.
Probably.
I'm feeling, because right now my win condition is I'm going to take this black belt until it punches things down.
Yeah.
Probably 32, maybe even 42, just because I can. Oh, the other thing that was interesting about this, trap tiles are tri-state,
hmm
so we don't know if they're A or B side.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, you kind of have to know before you know. Like, you have to just know both spike tiles in order to be able to figure out once you land on one, oh, is this A side or B side? And then at that point,
yeah,
you kind of adjust your strategy from there on. I think that I don't know. I think I kind of agree with you here. I mean, if you're leaning into that black belt red mage, I mean, re-rolling, like, what are you're re-rolling for life 2 that you potentially may or may not use once you get that black belt on, you know.
yeah. I
Uh,
mean, I guess what I'm saying is that we don't need fast where we're going, because that black belt, once you hit level 42, like it's gonna punch everything down. But I would like fast. And I would also
yeah,
like life too. I would
yeah.
probably go black belt, white mage, black mage in this
hmm
in this scenario. Or if I was going to go 2-man strats, I absolutely would kill off the other black belt, kill off the third character, and go with black belt, red mage in this. Um, oh, by the way, magic defense. This is very important. Magic defense is set for black belt master +3/+4. So promoting as early as possible is a benefit.
Yeah. Right.
Let's see.
I didn't catch the Blursons. Did you catch those at the beginning?
So the black belt had luck. Um,
hmm
I didn't see anything else that was very consequential from anything. I think the white mage had +2 first level spells, but oh, and by the way, slow boat, fast boat wasn't a thing at this point, so everybody settle down.
Uh, um, yeah, I mean, the luck is good in case you need to run away from things, but yeah, I mean, I didn't see anything, yeah, too inconsequential. Ooh, 20% or +20 MDef. That's not too bad, considering red mages already get like terrible MDef growth.
Yeah,
It's like starting off with a level 10 red mage already. All right, this
and
magic's not.
yeah, this magic is terrible. Who
No.
rolled this seed? Um, now, one thing I'm going to point out, kind of skipped over it. Ooh, Cure 4 learnable. That's great. That is one of the spells we're looking for. It makes me feel less bad for not having a white mage here. Oh, and we have the loot in the shop, so that's real nice. Your escape from Canaria was approximately 54 seconds, I think, if I remember correctly. And in last week, I kind of went over. You want to be at 45 seconds leaving Canaria and checking everything. So I would definitely suggest kind of practicing your starts in collecting magic just to get that under 45.
Yeah. So where do we go from here at this point? I remember spring tournament. I remember these flags pretty well. You got the
Oh,
random
oh,
item
do
in a
you,
place.
Greg?
Where do we go from here with this party? With what we're trying to do? Love
I
this.
don't believe we have warp or exit.
Actually, I'm a big fan of that river dock. Trying to get down to Marsh Cave.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a great play. It is much faster to get there. We do have a lot of tents, so I'd like to see trying to get no encounters going down here.
Yeah.
Um,
Especially since even with the extra luck, I mean, this party's not running from much.
yeah. I forget, was Marsh Cave a random location? I don't have the flags up in front of me anymore.
So
I
Marsh,
probably
it
could
was.
find them.
Let me pull them up real quick, or at least I have them in front of me right now. Yes, it's Ice Cave, Ordeals, Marsh Cave, Sea, Sky, and Canaria Lock. And this was before we could like kind of. I think this was before gating was a thing, if I remember correctly. So this is like literally anywhere in these particular dungeons.
Yeah, this was on 4.2.1. But yeah,
Yeah,
first
yeah,
check. I love, I
4.2.1.
love, I love going top first in these, and it paid off beautifully. And take one chest. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Uh, but what I'm
Eh,
thinking right now is, I still want the tail, but it's inconsequential to me if I get the tail or not.
yeah.
So that's a dud item. I want that item to be in sky, so I don't have to clear sky because I know that the sea and the sky incentive are both randomized or completely random in there.
There's just so many duds in here. I think that people have talked about that before. I mean, you're talking like you don't really need the Vorpal. You don't even really need the Power Gauntlet where we're going. And then of course you definitely don't need the tail. I mean, yes, you would want the tail to potentially get that extra MDef, but is it worth full clearing sky for?
No,
Or
absolutely
yeah.
not. Another thing I will say, so you have a dead black belt in your front slot. I don't know the math on it. Somebody smarter than me can figure it out. But when the front character is dead, they don't get a certain bonus when it comes to agility and ambushing. So you're going to get more ambushes on you, and you're going to get less first strikes on other things. Just a thing of note.
It also kind of messes up like where your hits are gonna go too.
Correct. So we got the tail,
All right.
but
What
we're
do you think
searching for the
about
floater.
I was gonna say, what do you think about this versus going to ordeals and going down south? I do. I do not like doing river system to ice cave. I try to go my best to try to get in the air before I hit up ice cave. But what do you think?
You see, I don't want to be that guy, but one of us in this room won the spring tournament, and the other one is me. So, so if anything, we should be listening to what you have to say on
Yeah,
these ones.
but I mean, spring tournament was like a million years ago,
It
and
was a million
I,
years ago. You know what also was a million
I
years ago? Year of the pot. Listen, all I want to do is shower you with praise. Shower you and your beautiful
oh
beard
my
with
god, oh
praise.
my god, you're being way too kind. But being down here, look at these wizards. They are annoying. What level are we at now? Level 8? Do we have a way to kill the things in here?
I hope so. What I will say is that my uh, partner in the Double Dragon, Fry Teeth, loves to go into who also, by the way, took second place in spring tournament. I don't know if you knew that, Greg.
Wait,
Um,
well, who?
so he loves going into ice caves, check out all the trap tiles, especially with playing a black belt. So I defer to that kind of mentality here. I would go to ordeals, but I would go to ordeals anyway. So when I say that, take it with a grain of salt. That, like, of course you want to go to ordeals. There are a lot of trap tiles here. There could be something good, and you're a decent enough level where you should be able to kill it and finish your grind. So
Yeah,
I don't mind it.
yeah. I just think about my levels coming into here. So yes, there are great spike tiles that could potentially be in here, 5 total. The problem is we already say right now we're on A side tiles, right? So that's actually beneficial here because if we have A side tiles, um, it's going to be easier to kill with a solo character. But we're low level and we're an ice game. And
It,
if we're down to a black belt, there's a good chance you're going to hit an off tile encounter that's going to get ugly real quick,
yeah.
especially with 0.8, 0.7 encounter rate. Oh, there's our crown.
And our, I'll take one ring, please.
I like completely avoiding that spike tile, by the way,
Yep.
because at that point you already have your crown, and why take an extra encounter? Get
Yep.
out of here.
We're done here.
We are totally done.
I would have actually felt safer going here had I brought a white mage just so that I had life.
Yeah, but overall, I mean, again, these are my personal preferences. Outside of that, I mean, the plays are really good. The movements are good, like what we talked about with Fizzle. Like everything looks good. Like just moving, you know, choosing where you're gonna, how you're going into rooms and how you're checking chests and stuff. Um, oh, nice pickup on that ribbon. I probably would
Delicious.
have even checked that room at that point. So that was a really good play.
Yeah, very nice greed play. Sometimes when they pay out, like when they pay off big. So at this point, I would be thinking, all right, I don't need to check any more greed chests. I have the one thing I could have wanted, and
Yeah.
there's a ribbon for one of my red mages.
Yeah, especially since the plan is already to break down to a 2-man, right?
Yeah.
And then even if you don't have a ribbon for your red mage, you have a ribbon for your black belt if eyes or agamas have something dumb.
All right,
Now
so
I did
now,
like
oh god,
wait, what are we looking down for, or what's our heal pot situation looking like coming in here?
not enough.
Okay, that's already scary.
Um,
That's the first thing I think of coming down here.
oh, and
Oof.
fires are all right. Oh my god, 402 still wasn't enough to kill it. Oh, ick. Oh,
Ooh,
it pulls a
massive.
massive unite. Just, oh my goodness. Just this. This is a scary play, but it's paying off.
Yeah.
So
Well,
now
Massa
you
again.
really have to double down on this.
Yeah, Massa again, great pickup here. Just again, in case both of your grinds at this point are going to be dumb, you at least have an ability to kill them before level 21, and then you got the ribbon as your backup to make sure that if they do something dumb like glare or any other insta kill spell, you have protection against it. So I like this.
Yeah.
And
Well, the black belt can't have a ribbon. That's what makes it stink.
oh, I didn't see that in the
Yep.
malices.
Yeah.
Oof, that does make a big difference.
So at this point, I agree. I agree with this. Normally, like, you know me and my feelings for Jad. He always says if you're going to go to Volcano, just finish it. Like, don't go there unless you plan on finishing it. In this case, like, you took a gamble. You grabbed all of those delicious chests. You got something great out of it. Take that and run because there's a reasonable chance that you're not going to be able to kill Carrie once you get there.
Yeah, and this kind of boils back down to the thing that I mentioned earlier about going to Ice Cave. Because then at this point, if Ice Cave doesn't immediately give you the floater so that you can do something else, yeah, you're next to Volcano. So then therefore you're kind of forced to kind of go there. And if you don't have enough heal pots coming out of Ice Cave and you can't like full clear Volcano, then unfortunately you have to leave the area. You have to go do some other stuff. And then if what you need is down in Volcano, then you kind of lost a lot of that time.
Yeah.
Um, so again, that's kind of why in these particular flags I would have gone to Ordeals versus Ice Cave. But again, it ended up working out okay. You were able to get in and out of there. You got a crown, you got a ribbon. Um, so we'll see how the rest of the season goes.
Now, one thing that I'm going to mention, we're 27 minutes in, and we haven't started a grind yet. That
Mm,
makes me uncomfortable with these type of flags that are like when you take a black belt, you have already decided I am taking a grind. It is your job to find that grind as soon as possible. Um, I would have
oof.
liked to see a check into Earth Cave along the way, just to you got 3 trap tiles there. Maybe something good is there.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
this ruby will definitely put you in the position or in the place. So hopefully we do, like you said, hit up Earth Cave. Like there's 3 in Spike Tiles right away. Again, this is kind of back to what the whole Fizzle thing. Not sure I would have checked this without the flab, but paid out okay because we got a nuke that's actually Red Mage learnable.
that's nice. I will also say I'm going to second Gregory Puff's fluid motion comment. However, there are some points that you can kind of see, like as even though this is at 2x speed, like watch all of the battles that start, and you'll see just a hair of a second of pause. And you're going to take roughly 120 fights, maybe more. And that just fraction of a second is going to cause you to lose a minute or two on some of the better runners.
And there's Oxio. So obviously something we needed here, but again, it's not that floater that we're looking for. It's not a key that gets us into like some, those key locked areas that you can check spike tiles.
Yeah.
And like what you said, I mean, we're 30 minutes in. I'm thinking to myself, at least with these flags, against Fry Teeth, that person's probably already found the grind they're looking for. They're probably grinding right now.
Yeah. He's he has already gone to Ice Cave. He has found his grind. He is done. Level 42 across the board and calling it good.
Luckily, if he had gone to Ice Cave, he would have gotten Bupkis, and I would have been, in Ordeals killing eyes on the Nightmare tile. But I do
Yes.
like this. It does fall in line with what we were talking about before. Earth's on the Earth tile. Gotta love to see that.
Oh, look, these Earths are runnable. These Frosties are
Hey,
not. Oh
yeah,
my.
Frost.
With Poison Touch. Goodness.
Yeah, these are not the best Frosties. I had some decent Frosties, but these are not the good ones. At least when they're unrunnable. Like at this point, do you reset out? Do you even bother with
I
this and then coming
absolutely
back out?
reset. I absolutely reset. These Sphinxes are not going to be giving enough
Yeah,
experience
600's
for
not.
me, and like I'm not gonna lie, I don't mean to shower you with praise. I will shower you with something other than praise later. But the first like when I was watching you play specifically uh, in spring tournament and watching you take it was either a frosty or a zombie detail. They had something nasty, but literally it was the only thing available to you, and you managed to make it work. You figured out how to make it work, and you won the match. And that's the first time where I thought to myself, "Oh, there are other trap tiles that I can take. I just need to be smart about it."
Yeah. Yeah, I
Ugh,
mean,
slow boat.
slow boat, just slowing it up. But we gotta get that black belt back up and running. That I don't know, unrunnable white Ds. I didn't see anything else on them. They just kind of had high HP, and they're always gonna have high evade.
Yeah,
So yeah, not great.
they had poison touch, but that's
Yeah.
that's nothing.
Again, this is kind of like we've already been here. We're thinking about what we're doing. Are you going into item shops at this point?
No, I'm not.
Spending that kind of
That's
money on
another
a
thing
gold bracelet?
with the black belts. What you're gonna see when you watch good black belt players run is they're going to limit the amount of time they're in shops by just not going there. Uh,
Yeah. And then equipping, and like again, I'm not trying to poop all over anybody's plays or anything, but equipping that wooden stick, that's like why? Like it's like
you're not gonna be
an extra
swinging
5 seconds. But coming back and getting this tier 4 now, that's pretty big.
That is big, but we still have to come back again to pick up that loot. And I hope we go to ordeals at this point because I don't think Northern Docks are on in this. So the only other place we could go is Waterfall, Sea. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to
I
Sea with a level 15 black belt.
I did like the use of the river tiles there.
100%
Somebody,
perfect.
yeah, somebody named left front bumper doesn't know how to use river tiles. All right, so
I would have reset right there. Yep. Perfect.
oh, I was just about to say the same thing and it worked out.
It's so weird because there are some things that just don't occur Like, it never occurred to me. I was actually, I don't know why I remember this. I was watching Crab Cakes go through an ordeals in Spring Tournament 2019 old videos, and took an encounter and reset instantly. I'm like, why would she do that? She's past 2 pillars. And it didn't click to me like, oh, she already has the information of how to get there. It's going to take less time to reset than it is to fight through this ambush.
Look
Um,
at what levels here.
yeah,
All right, so just trying to make our way through ordeals. Ordeals sucks without warp. It's just the worst. Hey, I called it. I was like, there's gonna be aisles on the nightmare tile. See, this is the thing that we were talking about. You're in ordeals. You're already there. Like you're already level 42 by now,
yep,
right?
yep. Oh, I went to ordeals at the 8 minute mark. Like,
Yeah.
but that's me. Where
But
are you going? Where are you
but
going? Go
again,
back.
what what we're talking about here, talking about at least for these flags, this is my old it's kind of obsolete now because flags aren't really like this anymore. I know the game kind of it was only 6 months ago, but the game has moved, uh, uh, you know, along so far since then. Um, but my whole philosophy was always checking the. Oh, I love this play. I love this play.
This is very nice.
Pulling off your characters on a little bit more dangerous tile because that's the one thing that the eye it's great for grinding, but it sucks to gan off your characters on him because he kind of doesn't hit very hard, and when he tries to hit hard, he misses half the time. But luckily, able to get that red mage down. Anyways, what I was trying to get at is in these flags, I always try to check the dungeons with the least amount of chests because getting in and out of dungeons is just so important. That's why I leave sea and sky to the end, like what you said, because you don't want to be full clear in sky to get like a tail.
I don't. Yeah, that's the word. Like, it's bad enough if you have to full clear sky. It's even worse when you find something stupid.
But again, this is the whole thing. If I was thinking about these flags, and again, not trying to beat that dead horse, especially a dead horse that's been dead for 4 months ago or however long the Duck Derby was. But like, again, going up to Ice Cave, doing that whole river system thing without the floater, and we're here when we could have been here
Yeah,
8 minutes ago doing this thing.
yeah. Um,
Crab cakes taught me that we always talk about crab cakes, but crab cakes taught me that like really early on in my game. Like, yeah, it's great to get to Ice Cave, but like, why are you in the river system forever? Like, it takes so long to get to Ice Cave through the river system when you could be going anywhere else in any other thing and potentially getting the floater and then getting to Ice Cave on the airship as opposed to you know doing the river system.
so Greg, what level do you take this to?
Oh, 42, always, every day, every day.
I like that. That is a man who is confident.
Yeah. I mean, even 150, it's not like, it's fine. You could probably go a little bit lower, but I'm not trying to wipe and Topher. And it only takes one, and it only to lose the game, a wipe and Topher. Whereas if you're at level 42, yeah, you may have spent another 3 minutes to get from 32 to 42, but that's better than wiping on Kraken 2 because you decided to lowball it.
Yeah, absolutely. I always go with the middle ground. And when I say that, I mean it's going to take you roughly 6 minutes to get through Topher. So if you wipe on Chaos, that's a 6 minute time loss. So if you think there's a chance that that might happen, take half of that time and continue grinding or get up to your next level. So if you can get to level 42 from 32 in under 3 minutes over Infinity Seeds, you are going to have had save time. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
and what Oh, absolutely. And what Fizzle says too here is perfect. I mean, not only lack of ribbons, but we're talking about that +3 to +4 MDef thing. So you're getting, only 3/4 the MDef you would normally get on a normal black belt. So I mean, things could still get pretty scary in Topher, even with a level 42 black belt, because you've only got what 120, 126 MDef versus
Yeah.
164 MDef.
That's right. That makes me
168.
scared of specifically Zap, but
Well, and Brack.
I yeah, I'm there are things that these bosses have that make me scared.
Yeah,
But
Bane.
Yeah, I am.
Bane and Zap are specifically the ones I think of.
Uh, I don't know what the there's also crack. I don't know
Yeah.
what the actual numbers on all of these are. I think crack is around the same as Bane, which is
Mm.
yeah scary at 120 M defense. But
All right, so we're almost there, and I think I kind of missed when we saw the first eye and when we got there, but gosh, that grind couldn't have taken longer than, maybe 6 or 7, 8 minutes somewhere in that general
well, yeah,
area.
it literally took 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go from 32 to 42, and we were
Yeah,
already at like level 21 going in there,
yeah,
so that very quick grind.
yeah. So that ended up working out great. I like that we kept the massa on because there's no reason to go and menu off the massa when the massa's already one shot in the eye. So you're
Yep.
saving that kind of time there. And then from this point on, I like this play of going on ahead and hitting up on rack to bring everybody back to life because we're gonna have to go to waterfall anyway. I actually didn't see what was in ordeals. I
Adamant.
somehow must have looked at okay, adamant. So then you got a couple of you got more like 50-50 plays here. Not really 50-50, I guess like, 67-33. Do you go up and turn in the adamant for a quick whatever, or do you come here, do waterfall and full clear C? Granted, you're gonna get two more key items, but you're full clear in C.
What
That
I
seems
would
lame.
do actually is, and this sounds counterintuitive, I definitely go to waterfall. I also go to C, but I don't full clear it.
Yeah.
We haven't seen the Power Gauntlet. We haven't seen the Vorpal. That makes me believe that it makes me believe that one of those two items or the tail. Oh, we have the tail. Is going to be there.
Yeah.
I still take all of the chests that are along my way. Like I'll take those free, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chests or whatever that are relatively free, just in case I can get lucky. But
The thing I like about the 42 black belt versus like the 32 is like just dumb stuff like giants running away from you. That's always so good. Like, please get out of my face. And there's our floater. Floater's always either in waterfall or the vendor item in on rack or the desert area. Like it's just
it just
it
it just
was
so
the story of
happens.
my spring tournament. Yeah.
So one thing that so we're still missing the key. We're still missing the cube for go mode. We know that the loot is for sale in Elfland.
Mhm.
Um,
I'm
we have
not
the
going to
adamant
see.
to turn in. Um, what are you doing?
Uh, ooh, I was just saying how I'm not going to see, but we've kind of already done a lot of things. So it's like, do I clear C because I'm in the area and I don't want to have to double dip the on rack location because there's not really much else to go,
Yeah.
right? What do we?
Well,
I'm trying to look at the tracker now. See what we
well,
have
we'll
going on
agree
here.
that you got to kill Kraken while you're here. Like
Yeah,
that's like a 100%. This is happening.
if
It's just
if we
how much
had
you clear.
yeah, if we had more fetchies going on, like if we had like if we had an herb or a bottle or a slab or something like that, there would be a part of me that would think maybe I'll come back later and see if C is not required for a full clear because again, you're talking about you're here. It's
Yeah.
hard for me not to want to full clear this dungeon because I'm here to see what the incentive is.
Um, I would say that at this point, once you're grinded up, like you don't need to check those level 7 magics. You're never. The plan is to never come back here, and I don't think there's anything there that would have made me come back.
Yeah.
That black belt
And
is already ready to go. So
yeah, and at this point, I mean, once you get the black belt up, you can immediately just be like, I'm not taking any more battles ever again. Which is kind of why, if I had brought this party, I might have brought a thief, knowing that you're not bringing the knowing that the thief is not going to be alive for anything anyway. But once you're in that go mode and you have your black belt on board, having that thief there to guarantee runs is so nice. So you're not like failing runs because you're running a black belt and
yeah.
red mages who are notoriously bad at running. Luckily, it doesn't seem like it's much of an issue here because he seems to be getting away from battles pretty easily.
Ambush by ghost is the worst.
Yeah, Ghosts are. Oh my gosh, what is this vanilla tile here?
This is the danger zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it was double black belt force. I wouldn't be able to justify taking a thief as my third. Like I
Yeah.
see the plan for it, and I take that back. Because my plan would have been to go black belt and red mage, and so that third character is inconsequential to me. So it
Yeah.
might as well be a thief.
Yeah. Well,Ale's right, and I didn't think about that. I missed what the force classes were because I had wandered off and went to the restroom real
Just
quick.
both
So
black belts.
knowing that there were, yeah, no, knowing that there were two black belts, that does make things a little bit different for sure.
Mm.
But at least one of the black belts died pretty early, so that's always nice.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, because you're trying to find the key item, it's not going to be on the way to Kraken. That's the life of these flags.
So yeah,
No matter.
that's really now the decision, and there isn't a right answer. My gut is telling me that I'm not going to mermaid side. I'm not going to do it.
You're not even gonna bother
Nope.
going down there, running straight to mermaids, taking those 2 minutes or whatever.
Nope.
Nope.
There
All
is
right, so
there is
you're
a very good chance that it's going to be or lead to something I don't care about.
yeah. Ooh, you gotta like to punch it in the face and then breaking him into pieces. So Rich in my camp here is gonna go full clear until I find the incentive, and then be upset that it's the Vorpal or the power bond. I don't like clearing this room first though. I would have gone straight to mermaids immediately.
Yeah.
Because there's like a billion chests and there's no encounters down there. And then clearing this floor sucks anyway. But because now if you find what you're looking for here, then you just wasted a bunch of steps checking those two boxes. And of course, uh, this clears fine. I would have gone to the incentive area first, and there's your herb.
All right, we found the herb.
Now I would not be. Oh, killing bubbles. Sorry. It's like, what are we doing?
That's important. Uh,
What's happening?
well, so we're gonna see. So I kind of made a note. It was around the 1 hour 30 second mark. So fishing out that herb took us. Let's see. As soon as we exit here. All right. So fishing out that herb took us 2 minutes and 20 seconds. That's not terrible for getting an incentive item. Um, we'll see what the herb turns into, but I guess it doesn't really matter what the herb turns into, and this isn't me like hedging my bets. This is really just a difference of opinion on here. So there are some things that we say that are 100% like concrete, like you take river tiles to avoid encounters like that. You cannot argue with that. But when we're talking about our experience and what we want to do, that's where take it with a grain of salt here. Like I would defer to Gregory Puff on this, that the correct option would probably have been to just full clear it. You're there, you don't want to come back. Um, but I like to play a little fast and loose.
I'll argue with it. I'll argue with you. Let's see what this. Hey, there we go. A bottle. More fetch questies. Are we going to do the adamant? No, we got to come back here and pick up the loot.
Yep, we got to get the
But we
loot.
should have.
And
Yeah.
I would have on it like I hate going to towns more than once. And when you go to Elfland, I understand like you didn't have the money to get the loot. You spent the money on Cure 4, which was great, but it always feels bad. I try to avoid it as much as I can. So I probably again would have gone to Ordeals before coming back and doing my second dive in, even knowing that I wouldn't get Cure 4 out of it,
Ooh, this
or have it
actually
quick
ended
enough.
up working out. That ended up working out really well. That was good routing there, and it works out fine because obviously we need to do the slab and the bottle's right there. So
Yeah.
again, the routing works
All
out
right.
okay.
So that's pretty nice. We won't lose a lot of time in the bottle if it turns out that it wasn't great.
But one thing I want to point out here is two things I want to point out. First off, we haven't. I don't feel like we've used the nuke yet. So then again, going to Melman beforehand, before getting the slab, is kind of like whatever. And
Yep.
then doing this class change is like, I'm. What do you think?
Uh, at this point, you are a one person wrecking crew, it it does not matter. Like everything that you are doing now, okay, you're picking up fast. I suppose that's acceptable, because the time loss is going to be negated by the fact that you have fast and you're going to kill bosses twice as fast. So with that in regard, I will say yes, I would do that.
Okay.
Um,
So
on
that
the other
makes that
side, you're level 42. You're going to be killing these bosses in one hit anyway. So, eh.
yeah. I like not checking that item shop because what's the point? We have
Yeah.
everything we need. And not checking the magic here because again, what's the point? There's our cube. Do we
All
have a
right.
chime?
So,
Yep.
yeah, that was the herb to the bottle to the cube. So that was required. So I would have been crying a little bit and running myself back over to pick that up. But the plus side is it was the cube, so I wouldn't have full cleared sky.
This is gonna probably be the we got the key, which is gonna lead us to key locked.
Which
More than
we're in
likely,
go.
yeah. Yep, because we do have the chime already. So yeah, that's go mode. And we know that key locked is gonna be either the Vorpal or the what bonk, and then the other one's gonna be loose.
Yep.
Or not loose, but
Or in
in
sky.
sky.
Yep. Now, one thing I'm going to say, like running up and down here, like this would be a perfect time to be encounter manipulating, to not hit those encounters. That would have saved about 30 seconds. Um,
Yeah, just get an idea of the encounter table so that you can run around those things. But we do have that was a pretty huge encounter considering what the encounter rate is. He
yeah,
was able to get in, pretty much all of Mirage 2 without seeing a single encounter. Pretty incredible.
yeah.
So yeah, we're in go mode at this point. I don't see anything else really going on, and we got we got quite a few orbs to light up, but that shouldn't take too long. I imagine this will be done in what 15 minutes, not
Yeah,
even.
yeah. I would say 20ish minutes.
Well,
Because
Rich did want to talk about chaos, so we'll see how that goes.
yeah. But that's pretty much it. So some of the technical things like we'll just be going over is I don't want to see like taking any more encounters than we have to. We took like the eyes, we took a couple of things just because there's one. I catch myself doing this, but it's bad. Like I um it's going to be faster to run from those battles because that black belt is going to run from literally 80%, 90% of the battles. Um, then you don't have to deal with the fanfare. It's going to save just a couple of seconds. But I mean, as someone who has, lost multiple races this year in under 10 seconds, like that's my goal is to save myself that loss, that grief.
Yeah. Grabbing life. What do you think about grabbing life at this rate? I
Um
mean, does he have somebody at level 20?
yeah, his red mages are 23 and 24.
Okay,
So that's
that's good.
fine. Um
Yeah.
with my I guess the difference is my style of black belts is basically my red mage is only going to have cure spells, fast, nuke, temper, and maybe a fire 3 or something like in the early game if I need a sweeper.
Yeah.
But after I get the black belt online, that
Hmm.
those characters do not matter to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I like all this damage tile. Love it.
And yeah, using the cure force here, that's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah. You'd be surprised how many people it takes a little bit of time to realize just how much time using Cure 4 or Heal 3 saves versus, menuing out a bunch of heals. And of course the airship parking, which I still suck at. So that was really good. All
Yep.
that whole it was all beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful
I
Volcano.
also like the double fast. Um,
Because if you're gonna go out of your way to pick up fast, you better use it.
yeah.
And I agree with you there. Especially since it doesn't look like the red mages really have much outside of fast. There's no temper, so you may as well, get your chance to get fast to land before the black belt attacks.
Yeah.
And it's showing really well here.
Like with the black belts, your strategy is always to kill the boss before they get a chance to hit you.
Mhm.
And it sounds dumb, but really that's the whole theory behind it. You hit them hard enough so that they don't do anything to you. So those red mages, all they're going to be doing in battle is casting fast and maybe throwing out a cure 4 if something goes wrong. Um, and so that's, I hope I'm not beating a dead horse here, like in how much those red mages do not matter. If they were dead, you would not be going any slower.
Yeah. So already, I mean, from the second we got the key until we're here, what have we done? Like 5 minutes
Yeah, it's
to
been
get through
6
Sky,
minutes now. Yep.
Volcano in here? Yeah. That just goes to show just how fast, once you get that black belt online and you're in go mode, that you can just
Yep.
full clear these dungeons. And here we go in Topher at the 1 hour 19-minute mark. We'll see how this goes, but I
Rich Bork just
imagine.
let Ale Markin drive right there. Sorry.
Yeah, sometimes you got to slam your airship into trees. Oof, unrunnable badman. I would have reset immediately. Like I'm not even nuking these guys down.
Yep.
Yeah, there's no even reason to, because not only are you wasting time fighting those things that you don't need levels for, but they're also taking away your fast charges. So absolutely, there's no way. Like I might have taken them the first time, but the second time I would reset up.
Well, we have a reasonable amount of fast charges. Oh no, we've already. Oh my,
That's what
we've
I'm
already
saying.
passed 3 nukes. Oh yeah. So basically, as I'm going in, I want uh, 1 or 2 more fast casts than I have bosses that I'm going to use fast on.
Yeah,
I'm not going to
absolutely.
use it on Lich. I'm probably not going to use it on Carry. I'll use it on Kraken, Tiamat, and Chaos. So I
Yeah,
want 4 charges. 3 for the bosses and 1 if slow hits.
no, yeah, absolutely. Like again, anytime I see unrunnable badmen on that floor, it's just like no, we'll soft reset and we'll see what happens from there.
So
Ooh,
as
this
we're watching
black belt's
this,
already dead. Now we already have to reset. Oh no, we don't. I guess we can life, but at this point, I think that clearly caught him off guard because that was like a lot of
yeah,
just
that
thinking
was.
about what we're doing in the menu, and
I didn't check if we still have the gold bracelet and pro ring equipped.
that's a dead lich.
Yeah. Um, one thing I want to talk about as we're watching this Temple of Fiends, there's not really much more to go on. You know what you're going to be doing here is fasting and punching. Um,
Mm,
um, it's what I call tempo. Like so, I have 2 running modes. Like I have my standard running mode where I'm racing, but then when everything starts clicking together, when I know where I'm going, where I know what I'm doing, then I kick up the tempo and I go faster. I don't know how to describe this other than Gregory Puff. Do you like baseball?
I do.
So you know when a pitcher starts and they're just trying to find their spots right away. They throw a couple of wild pitches. They're trying to feel out where the strike zone is from the umpire. And the good pitchers will just get like by the second, third, fourth inning, they'll be hitting all their pitches. They know exactly where to send them. They get into a tempo, and that's how you get no hitters. The same thing can be said for video games when you basically know, all right, this is how I'm going to be menuing, this is how I'm going to be doing battles, this is how I'm going to be running and saving. Once you get into the tempo, you feel comfortable. You can definitely see like Rich Bork turned on the gas once he was in go mode, but the
Yeah,
theory is that you want to turn on the gas before you're in go mode and hit that tempo before that.
yeah.
It just saves a little bit of time. I hope that wasn't too long-winded of an explanation of my thoughts.
No. I got exactly what you were getting at. And then, oof, we lost the red mage. No huge deal though. We do have the life charge if we want to. But at that point, what is that red mage doing without fast? So that's like a little bit more time just
Yeah.
being a dead body, I suppose.
All right. So let's hold on. I'm going to quick pause it. If Rich, you want to jump back in.
So we're at our buddy Chaos here.
Hmm.
Did you want me to start playing it, or did you want
Yeah,
to
yeah,
talk a
you
little
can
bit?
start playing it.
All
You
right.
can start playing it. So.
So we're going lock and fast.
Black belt already had.
Oh,
Oh,
oh
there,
no.
Okay.
cracked it. That was
Oh
the thing
no.
we just talked about.
Yeah. So I had my backup plan, and my backup plan was the Masa here on the other red mage. But the a mistake I made is because of the fact that it was +3 +4, and I never promoted early. I didn't have the MDF to withstand that. But I've mentioned it before when I've been on stream about having a bad luck spot, and that actually is a thing. And if you can pay attention throughout the run, not necessarily this run, but RNG is set at the beginning of the seed. It isn't something that happens throughout the seed. So when you see somebody who gets crit through max evasion or gets insta killed through a ribbon, it's that slot is a bad slot in the character needs to move. So that's something that I did not know at this point in time, and didn't know during the Duck Derby, but I did end up learning in the last few months. So um, now the black belt didn't have the MDef to withstand that because it was getting +3 instead of +4. But if it was getting the +4 and it died to the insta kill, that meant that slot one was a bad slot. And there were ways to tell earlier in the seed whether or not that was the bad slot by paying attention to other things that happen to that slot. You see that slots 3 and 4 were fine because they both had ribbons. So chances were pretty good that no matter what, if I had kept the if I wiped and went back in there, that the black belt was still going to die in slot one. So.
Yeah, I think that the backup plan was a good one on there. I think
Mm-hmm.
that I would have liked to see when I go in, I always have an extra fast on me.
Mm-hmm.
So what Gregory Puff said absolutely made sense of just resetting out as soon as you saw those bad men to save your fast casts. Because if you had
Yeah.
a fast extra for that, cast it on that, cast it right away, you would have beaten chaos a minute before.
Yeah. Definitely so. But I wasn't disappointed in this finish. Like I finished fifth in this race, which squeaked me into eighth place overall. I did everything I needed to do to get in the top 8 of the Duckling Derby. Had a little help with somebody ahead of me who forfeited out, and then with how where I was tracking. I finished 19th in the very first race, and then I got progressively better placing throughout the Duckling Derby. That 19 just crushed me, but I was glad that I was able to come back. And like I said, this is from August. So August 1st is when this video was uploaded. So that meant that I ran it on July 31st. But I mean, you were basically, 4 months ago. And there's been a lot that's happened since then. Um, I got lucky in this. And like I said in the chat, double down on bad decisions. You've said it before. And sometimes you have to do it. And sometimes you need to know when to hold them, know when to fold them. It's like I went into Ice Cave early, and then went down to Volcano to check the armory. It paid off. There were the eye in ordeals was pretty chonky, but because I had the Masa, I didn't have any problem with it. And there were runners on the restream that were having trouble with that eye, getting that grind early because of the fact that they didn't have a way to deal that extra damage. So that paid off for me in the long run, but not necessarily going to be the way that it happens every single time. So yeah,
Yeah,
July 31st was a
whenever you
good
can
day.
make things whenever I love that. Whenever you do things, if you get something good out of it, or if it doesn't pay off, try to make it work to your advantage. Because that's how you pick up a couple minutes on people. But the kind of the overview. Thank you very much for sharing this one with us. It was a nice
Mm-hmm.
throwback to the last Duck Derby and kind of tying everything in. So kind of just to sum the points that we were kind of seeing here. Your execution was very good, but it could have been better. There were just
Right.
certain types of moments that you could be pressing the buttons sooner with that and not taking
Yeah,
just that extra second pause.
menuing is something that's has been an issue for me. I'm getting better at it. I've been trying to make things up in other places.
Yeah, all you
So
can do
like
is
when you were
practice.
when you were talking about LFB as well, something that I had paid attention to is now I don't do this 100% of the time, but which direction do I need to go after an encounter? Which direction do I have to go after leaving
Hmm.
a shop or after a town or
Yeah.
going into going through a door? Every single one of those can end up being half a second, and since you're taking 150 encounters and you're going into how many number of shops and into how many number of towns, and on how many number of floors that you're going onto. I ended up timing myself and losing like 11 minutes in a run just by hesitating on which direction, which way am I going, and that's a lot of time. Granted, that was when it was still taking me 2 hours to make a run like this, but um, you know I try to work on something different every single time. And I took 2 months off from running FFR until this new Duck Derby started. I needed a break. It was a lot of time that I was investing. I'm a stay at home dad, so I have a lot of free time. so I, you know, so from the end of April all the way up until um, mid late October, I was running FFR seeds almost every single day, sometimes 2, 3, and 4 seeds, just running and running and running and running. So
Well,
I had to
I'll
take a
tell you,
break.
like watching this, um, I definitely saw improvement from before that. Is specifically because I watched most of the people running during the first and the second race of the Derby. And then, of course, I don't recall watching any of yours specifically during Fall League, so I don't have like a comparison from now until then. But a lot of the fundamentals here, like, and then I'll throw this over to Greg after I kind of finish this summation. Um, a lot of the fundamentals are there. The decision making, you had reasons for doing things, and we may have disagreed with them, may have agreed with them, but it looked like you had everything straight on there, and you knew where to go. Like you didn't have any moments longer than a fraction of a second going, okay, what do I do now? So all the fundamentals are there. It's just a little more practice and trying to get that grind sooner for the black belt. I think would have
Right.
saved a very decent amount of time. Greg, final thoughts on that?
No, I think you pretty much landed everything. The one thing I will say, and I didn't think about at the time, was because of the massa pulling it out of volcano and being able to take the eye down a little bit quicker because the magic wasn't very good. It ended up working out pretty well to kind of save ordeals for a little bit later because you were able to kill that eye. So again, it's like that kind of stuff worked out. Now I don't know how you know a vet runner would have made it into ordeals at this 9-minute mark and been able to take that eye out. Who knows? But
Right.
other than that, I mean, Dead Pulse is that absolutely right. I think it was well done. Obviously, rooms for improvement, but everyone has room. Hell, I have rooms for improvement. So hopefully, what we said during the run made you think. That's the whole point of this is to just kind of like make you realize, oh yeah, I don't need to do those little steps. Like uh, equipping the wooden stick
Right.
in Elfland or triple diving Elfland. Um, just certain things like that. Checking item shops and doing other certain things. Like the fast was, but and life ended up working out okay too. So I guess I can't talk about those places. It ended up working out great.
Um,
But
so the best piece of advice that I can give to any of the ducklings is that pick the brains of the veterans. I mean, you guys know that I did that. I was messaging both of you. I was messaging, I messaged Crab Cakes. I messaged Danny. I messaged, all kinds of different people to get input from as many people as possible because I wanted to be a sponge and take up as much information as I could. I was watching both of you guys stream, and if I couldn't watch you guys live, I would watch a VOD afterwards, and I was doing that with so many different people, just consuming the content to help myself do the Ducks just do whatever you need to do to get the information to help yourself get better. And most of the vets are not going to be upset if you're going to message them and ask them questions.
You know who likes being pinged at all hours? Dark Moon. That's who.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely
kidding.
ping
Please,
Dark Moon
please don't do
anytime.
that. He's gonna
It'd
get
be
so
good.
mad at me.
Yeah.
Nah, he'll be fine.
Yeah. Oh, and when Caleb gets back, he's a good sport too about answering stuff a lot. And Caleb streams a whole ton too, so you can learn a lot from that. Like I learned a lot about Zap. Like I had no respect for Zap, being that I was a Final Fantasy player from back when the game was released. But I have a newfound respect for Zap due to Caleb. I don't have the luck that Caleb has with hitting Zap because he can hit it on almost everything. But I do have a newfound respect for that. So
It has been well. Thank you very much again for putting this in.
yeah,
We could talk. We
thanks,
could talk
guys.
about this all day. However, we have been extending the Puff and Pulse Variety Hour to almost 2 hours to get this twofer done. And I want to thank Gregory Puff for doing this with me. I don't think we're going to do any more twofers. I think we're going to keep them separate. But we'll see. We'll never know. But you know what? Thanks for joining us on the Puff and Pulse Variety Hour, Lord Fizzlebeef, my liege, Rich Bork. Both of you, thank you again for giving us VODs, and anybody out there in the Final Fantasy Randomizer universe who wants to submit VODs, you can go to our Discord, put them in the Puff and Pulse Variety Hour. Just submit your VOD that you have on either Twitch, YouTube, what have you, plus the flags that you ran. And we will get to them guaranteed sometime over the next 4 weeks. So please do that. And yeah,
Yeah,
that's
and
what I got. Gregory Puff,
I was
take
gonna,
us
I
out.
was gonna say, yeah, I was gonna say, if you're out there, I mean, it'd be weird if you were on the Final Fantasy Randomizer Twitch, but if you and aren't part of the Discord, but if you are watching and you aren't part of the Discord, then join the Discord, as they say. If you are a new player, go to the Duck Derby thing and sign up for the Duck Derby. After the reveal on Sunday, we should have some information regarding when the Duck Derby races will happen. So that should
Ooh.
happen then. Other than that, I mean, all the information out there for the Duck Derby is available, how we're doing the point system, what the flags are already going to be. The only real mysteries right now is just what dates are happening and who's going to be and what day. And then, of course, the rest of the boot camp. So that's all I got. So, on behalf of Final Fantasy Randomizer, Dead Pulse, Rich Bork, Lord Fizzlebeef, you guys have an awesome night, and we will see you on Sunday for the next Duckling Derby boot camp reveal.
Oh, don't forget Thursday we have this channel right here, 8:30 Final Fantasy Randomizer time. Dark Moon's going to be having week 2 extra credit, so stay tuned for
Oh.
that. And yeah, have a good night. Thanks.